The impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte will start on July 6. Are the key players ready? Good morning. I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno, and this is at the Forefront. A pre-trial conference is scheduled for Thursday. This is in connection with the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. But the leadership dispute at the Senate has yet to be resolved. Detained Senator Jinggoy Estrada, for his part, asserts he can still participate in the impeachment trial. Meanwhile, how is the prosecution team preparing? To give us insights on these issues, we'll be speaking with Manila 3rd District Representative Joel Chua. He's also a member of the House prosecution team. Good morning, Congressman Joel.
Good morning, ma'am. Magandang umaga at sa lahat ng mga taga-subaybay.
Okay, Congressman Joel, there's already a pre-trial set for Thursday. What can the public expect from this pre-trial? Susubaybayan po ba namin ito?
Well, the pre-trial conference is not open to public. But yung regular pre-trial, so there will be stipulation of facts, marking of evidence, the identification of witnesses, and yung kung paano, how do we want the arrangement, kung ano yung unang article na mauuna. So I think that is also part of what we are going to stipulate now. So basically, yan ang mangyayari sa pre-trial conference.
Are you anticipating that any of those points will be contentious? Like kung ano yung mga mauunang articles of impeachment? Do you foresee any opposition from the defense?
Well, normally, kung ano yung nasa prosecution yan, di ba? Normally, kami ang mamimili dyan. Siguro doon sa stipulation of facts, siyempre dyan yung medyo magkakaroon ng konting girian. But let's see, and this will be the first time, no, that we will be able to, kasi yun sa amin, basically, if you watch the Committee on Justice, basically, nandiyan na yung mga witnesses, yung mga documentary evidence, no? So, yun sa kanila, until now, hindi pa rin natin alam. So, alam naman natin na itong pre-trial conference, the reason why ginagawa ito is to prevent surprises during the hearing. So, kaya, let's see kung ano yung magiging diskarte naman nila.
For your part, meron po bang ipepresent ang prosecution ng mga additional documents, additional evidence that we did not see during the House Justice Committee hearings?
Well, may mga iba kaming mga ebidensya na nakita na pupwede. So, siguro titingnan natin kung paano mangyayari. So, antay muna natin sa Attorney Karen sa 18.
What about witnesses? May mga dagdag po ba kayong witnesses?
We are considering, well, of course, we are considering mga hostile witness. Diba? There will be several or some hostile witnesses. So, nakalista na rin naman yan.
Pero hindi pa po namin nakita sila nung House Justice Committee hearing.
Nakita nyo na rin.
Okay. Walang mga dagdag na tao na magugulat kami?
May dagdag. But I do not know if right now allowed ako to divulge, no? Siguro, antay na lang natin once na finalize na dun sa pre-trial conference.
But, yeah. So, idadagdag nyo, sasabihin nyo naman po sa pre-trial conference. Yes. So, walang surprises sa trial itself?
Wala. Kasi, normally naman, magkakaroon lang naman yan ng mga reservation pagka hindi pa available ngayon di ba? Or in the course of the proceeding, doon mo lang biglang na-discover na, di ba? So, sa ngayon, siguro we will be presenting more or less 25 witnesses for all the articles.
25 witnesses? Madami din po, no?
Opo, kasi 4 na articles yan
Apat na articles yung for the whole trial
Yes,
na.
for the whole trial.
So how long do you expect this trial to last with respect to the prosecution before you rest your case?
Well, kasi naman di ba, we are not, just like in the Corona case and the other impeachment cases, no? hindi ka naman obliged to finish all the articles eh. Once na nakita mo, after presenting article 2, 1 or 2 articles, tingin mo matibay na, 'di ba? At talaga namang overwhelming na yung ebidensya. So po pwede na. So depende kung ano yung mangyayari.
Kayo po, anong magiging gauge nyo to determine kung malakas na yun na-present yung articles of impeachment so far?
Ako, sa totoo lang, I'm not worried, no? Ako, I believe that all the 4 articles, malakas talaga lahat yan. So, mangyayari lang ito, siguro yung girian natin dito is depending on who will be the one to sit as presiding officer. Kasi siyempre, nasa kanya yung pamukpok eh.
Oh, yung
so, siya
gavel,
yung tatanggap ng isusustain o iyaano niya yung objection eh, di ba? So, siya ang magsasabi kung ano mga ebidensya. Siyempre, pag sinustain yung objection, disgrasya naman yung disgrasya kami, di ba? So, kami naman, we just want a fair trial to allow us to present all the pieces of evidence that we have, di ba? Kasi yun naman talaga yung gusto natin dito is justice, eh, di ba? Fair and fair trial.
Senate President Pro Tempore Win Gatchalian says siya daw ang magiging presiding officer ng impeachment trial. Are you confident kung siya ang maging presiding officer na kaya niyang mag-rule on the objections on the floor at on other procedural matters, considering he's not a lawyer?
Well, pwede naman niya kasi iba to sa ano eh, sa mga members eh, 'di ba? Pagka medyo technical yung mga issues, pwede niyang iba to sa, but I understand na they changed the rules. Kasi previous to that, alam naman natin na if for example the president is on trial, automatic Chief Justice.
Yes, so.
But if not the president, the Senate President. But I understand nung nakaraang huling session nila, they changed the rules. Instead of Senate President, parang they can elect on who will be the one to preside. So let's wait for the final kung ano yung magiging outcome ng kanilang botohan.
Okay. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian is reportedly amenable to have Senator Chis Escudero or Senator Kiko Pangilinan preside the impeachment trial. Are you okay with that kung either of those two senators would end up being voted to preside?
They're both lawyers. So, and alam din naman natin na, like for example, Senator Chis Escudero, naging ano na rin siya, naging part na rin siya ng impeachment trial before, during the Corona case. So, yung experience din niya, nandoon din. Plus the fact na he is a lawyer.
Yeah. Well, in the past, Senator Chis Escudero, when he was still Senate President, was accused of delaying the impeachment trial and also being an ally of the Dutertes. Do you worry about that kung siya ang maging presiding officer in terms of his objectivity and fairness?
Well, ako naman kasi at the end of the day, naniniwala pa rin ako, no? At the end of the day, yung mga senador natin, they will, alam nila na the people are watching. So, ako naniniwala na baka yung political impartiality na hinihingi natin at nakalagay dun sa kanilang sinumpaang doon sa out of office nila as senator judge, gagampanan nila.
Okay. Congressman Joel, there are reports that right now we have this new majority of 12. Pero meron daw senator na lilipat na doon sa new majority para maging 13 sila. Should that happen and the remaining minority refuses to participate in the impeachment trial, is there a possibility na hindi matuloy yung impeachment trial? But before you answer this question, we'll have to take a short break. At the Forefront, we'll be right back. Welcome back and the Forefront. We continue our conversation with House Prosecutor Congressman Joel Chua. Congressman Joel, there are reports that one of the senators will transfer to the new majority of 12 para maging 13 na sila. But assuming that the minority refuses to participate in the impeachment trial, is there a risk na hindi matuloy yung impeachment trial?
Well, I don't think so. As long as they have the majority, the quorum, the trial kailangan mag-proceed.
Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano asserts that he's still the legitimate Senate President. Can the minority conduct their own impeachment trial?
Paano yung dalawang impeachment?
Parang dalawang Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, di ba?
Parang gulo naman yata. Well, let's see. No? I do not want to conclude pangunahan sila. But siguro, once the special session is called by the President, baka ma-resolve na rin itong mga isyong to.
Kailan po ba magpapatawag ng special session?
Idea eh. Wala pang information.
But there's a possibility na magpa-special
session. But it was
session.
announced by the, I think the President.
Yeah. Meron, yeah. I think people are just waiting kung,
So,
kung kailan
tingnan natin
mangyayari.
kung ma-resolve ito.
Okay. And then they can finally put this issue at rest na mag-vote ng Senate President. But as you said, na-amend na yung rules ng Senate impeachment rules so that, regardless of who the Senate President is, pwede silang mag-elect ng presiding officer na iba. So likely it could be a lawyer, senator.
Yeah, we will be having a different a situation where we have a different Senate President and different presiding officer.
Okay, for the impeachment.
For that impeachment.
And under the Constitution, Article 11, Section 6, it says that to convict in an impeachment, you have to have 2/3 of all the members of the Senate. And that would be 16 if we're counting 24. Ano po ang position niyo on this, considering na-detain na po si Senator Jinggoy Estrada?
Well, my position is yung sinasabing all the members, kailangan walang legal impediment. Because if, like for example, in the case of Senator Jinggoy, siguro ang applicable law sa kanya, no, yung sa case ni People versus Maceda. Dito kasi sa case ni People versus Maceda, sinasabi dito, all prisoners, whether you are under preventive detention or you are serving final judgment, di ba? You cannot perform your duty as such, and you cannot hold your office, whether you are elective or you are appointive official, while under detention. Ang sabi rin kasi dito na this is the necessary effect of the arrest and the imprisonment. So parang...
Pero nung time po ni Senator Laila de Lima, she was exercising her functions as senator while she was detained.
Yeah, kasi wala naman nagtanong eh. Wala namang question
So kung merong nag-question that time, you think that it would have been settled against her?
And even the case of Trillanes, in the case of Trillanes versus, I think, Pimentel. So si Senator Trillanes, parang he was asking na he be allowed to perform his function as lawmaker. So sabi ng ginamit ng Supreme Court yung People versus Maceda. So at doon nga sa sa isang kaso pa yung I think may isang kaso kasi na parang ang sinasabi once na kasuhan ka, like for example yung plunder, 'di ba? At nakita ng korte na valid yung criminal information. So automatic.
So this is even without a conviction yet?
Wala pang conviction. Information pa lang eh.
Basta may probable cause.
May information pa lang. So ibig sabihin, may sinampahan ka na ng information sa nakita valid, 'di ba? Nakita ng court. So at siyempre, nilabasan ka na ng warat, nakulong ka, di ba? Automatic yung suspension mo at mandatory. So,
and you'd feel that that would override the constitutional provision na kailangan of all members of the Senate kasi wala naman nakalagay doon with legal impediment.
Yeah, but ang presumption doon, doon kayo, nagpe-perform kayo ng function ninyo. As such, paano ka how can you perform your function as senator judge kung hindi mo na witness yung demeanor ng witness.
Senator Jinggoy Estrada said in a recent statement that he can still participate in the impeachment trial. So what is your response to that?
Sa paanong paraan? 'Di ba? Hindi naman inallowed yung electronic voting. Pangalawa, paano din siya boboto sa ng gadget? Unang-una, bawal sa kulungan ng gadget.
Oo. But Senator Jinggoy, since he's under detention, is technically under the jurisdiction of the courts.
Yes.
Hindi ba pwedeng mag-file ng permission from the courts to allow him, one, to participate in the trial, and second, to vote?
Well, kung gano'n na mangyayari, lahat na lang nakakulong. Gano'n na yung gagawin basis nila. Like for example, yung mga governor, mga mayor na nakakulong, who are also facing the same case. Di ang gagawin na lang nila, sabihin nila, binoto rin kami ng tao. We have to perform our function. Binabayaran kami ng gobyerno. So, pagka gano'n na mangyayari, could you imagine kung gaano yung resources na magagastos ng gobyerno? Lahat yan papayagan, plus the manpower.
But it's discretionary upon the court. So can't they allow, at least with respect to Senator Jinggoy, because it's an issue of transcendental
Well,
importance?
that is a question that can only be addressed by the court. But in my humble submission, that is not allowed.
What about reducing the required number of votes from 16? So again, yun yung pinag-uusapan natin, nakalagay kasi sa Constitution, 2/3 of all members of Senate. Pero may mga nagsasabi na baka may possibility na ibaba to less than 16 in order to convict Vice President Sara?
Kasi hindi naman sinabi na 2/3 of the 24 senators Ang sinabi of all the members.
Yeah, of
so
all.
if the, like for example in the issue of quorum, 'di ba binaba yung issue ng quorum sa mga decided case na nagkaroon
But again, if we're talking about the Cuenco case, it didn't decide the issue of quorum. It was an issue, it was a doctrine that we use for the political questions doctrine. The Supreme Court there refused to decide the issue of quorum because they said it's a political question. Pero naging obiter yung tungkol sa quorum. But it was 4 justices that said may quorum, 4 justices that said walang quorum. So actually, it's still undecided.
Yeah, whether that is decided or not decided. But at the end of the day, ito po pwede rin ito maging test case.
You think the Supreme Court will finally decide it in this era that we have right now?
Well, sa akin dun sa issue kasi na kung po pwede pa si Senator Jinggoy, once bumaba na yung yung kanyang preventive suspension, kasi 90 days yan diba? Normally 90 days yan. Before, dun kung titignan natin yung section 5 sa plunder law, wala talagang wala talagang period. But I think there is a case na sinasabi na parang it would be in violation of the constitutional right of the accused kung magiging indefinite yung preventive suspension. That's why they limited it to 90 days. So yung magiging question dyan, ako dun sa 90 days, once itong impeachment, within the 90-day period, so kung preventively suspended ka, so it is like as if you cannot perform your function. So magiging issue dyan, yung beyond. Kung kunyari,
after
na lift and suspension, hindi pa rin tapos yung impeachment hearing. So sa tingin ko naman dito, yung kaso ng People versus Maceda, yun naman na mag-a-apply.
Which means after the preventive suspension period, pwede nang mag-participate si Senator
Hindi, kasi
Jinggoy.
doon sa People versus Maceda nga sinasabi nga na lahat ng prisoners ay hindi ka po pwede mag-exercise ng iyong
so that's
profession.
your position, hindi talaga siya pwede.
Kasi sabi nga, that is the natural consequences of arrest and detention.
Yeah.
But of course, they can always question that sa Supreme Court.
Do you think meron pong magfa-file sa Supreme Court to put all of these issues under for the decision of the Supreme Court?
Possible naman. But I think the Senate should first decide it and then the Supreme Court can review kung tama yung mga naging desisyon ng Senado.
You've been designated as the second lead prosecutor for the Article 1 of the impeachment on alleged misuse of confidential funds. Are you confident that this is going to be a strong article of impeachment
Like I said a while ago, Attorney Karen, na lahat naman yung article strong naman eh. So, magkakatalo na lang yan kung ano yung mga ebidensya na papayagan sa amin.
Na-mention mo kanina may mga additional witnesses kayo. Meron ba kayong witnesses na ilalabas?
Witnesses and additional evidence.
O additional witnesses and additional evidence. Meron ba kayong witnesses na ilalabas to directly link the misuse of confidential funds to Vice President Sara? Apart from what we saw in the House Justice hearing.
Sa unexplained wealth.
Doon siya mapupunta.
I think baka doon siya mapunta.
Okay, not in, pero for the misuse of confidential funds, wala na po kayong dagdag na evidence. Nalabas nyo na lahat itong House Justice hearing.
As far as what I can recall, halos yun naman na yun.
And the defense has filed a petition in the Supreme Court and that's still pending. Do you worry that there are issues there that still relate to, for example, alleged constitutional defects in the impeachment complaint that might affect the impeachment trial?
Well, hopefully wala na. Diba? Because we have been waiting for this trial to commence, and now that we are already at the stage of conducting the pre-trial conference, sana payagan na dahil ito na rin yung inaantay ng taong bayan na matuldukan na itong isyong to.
And yung pre-trial brief nyo po for the impeachment, you'll file it today?
Today, yes.
For the prosecution itself, ilang estimate nyo po, ilang days or weeks ang kailangan ninyo? Kung tatapusin nyo lahat ng articles of impeachment?
Well, meron kaming, we have a strategy in our mind. But of course, I cannot divulge our legal strategy. Diba? But pag yung legal strategy namin ay tama, siguro, baka more than a month.
More than a month.
Or less than 2 months.
Okay, so a month to less than 2 months po.
A month or two, baka enough na.
Thank you again, Congressman Joel Chua, and such a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you po. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. The countdown to the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte is now underway. But questions over Senate leadership, voting numbers, and the participation of certain senators continue to cast a shadow over the proceedings. As the country prepares for a historic legal and political battle, the Filipino people will be watching closely to see whether the process remains fair and faithful to the Constitution. Be informed, be insightful of the news. I'm Atty. Karen Jimeno. Always stay at the forefront.